Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we'll finish up section 4.3. There was a check your understanding questions that went along with the previous example 3, writing mixed radicals as entire radicals. There's a few there you can try. Answers are right here. Okay. And in the last example we're going to be ordering irrational numbers, arrange in order from least to greatest without a calculator. So the key is without a calculator. Obviously you could just plug these four numbers into a calculator and order them from least to greatest. That's what we did in one of our previous exercises, but now what we're going to do, because we know how to change them all into an entire radical, we can do it using our knowledge of entire radicals, taking these mixed and turn them into entire, and then obviously just looking at the number underneath the square root. Now you can only do this when they're all the same. And what I mean by that, these can all be written as a square root. If you had like a square root and a cube root, then obviously you would have to go to a calculator, okay, or at least do an estimate. That may work as well. But what we're doing now in this example, we'll write all of these numbers as a square root. Okay, so 5 can be written as you guys are aware, 5 can be written as, now again, as you guys get a little more comfortable with these, you don't have to do this each and every time, but 5 is equal to 5, and because we're doing square root, it's equal to 5 multiplied by 5, which you guys know is equal to the square root of 25. Okay, so this step, could be skipped once you get comfortable with these, but I want to show these as we're working, okay? So 5 is written as the square root of 5 times 5, which is equal to the square root of 25. The next one we have is 4 square root of 2. So again, this is just like the previous example. We just got to do it a few times, that's all. Okay? So we know that 4 can be written as the square root of 4 times 4, right? And again, we can't remember to forget that we have to multiply this whole thing by the root of square root of 2 as well. Now again, this step here, you might learn to skip this step, right? That's up to you. And then we can rewrite this as 4 times 4, we know, is the square root of 16. So like that's what I mentioned before. Some of you will get comfortable and say, I know 4 is the square root of 16, and that's fine. And then that is equal to the square root of 32. Get rid of that. Okay? So the 4 is equivalent to the square root of 4 times 4, which is equal to the square root of 16. And then we can put them together and get the square root of 32. Again, I may have skipped a step that you're wondering in the previous example. It's just because we're getting comfortable with these. So if you want to write this step in, So if you want to write this step in, please feel free. Where you do make it as one entire radical, that's fine. Again, there's a number of steps. Once you get comfortable with these, you'll be going right from here to maybe here and here. It's up to you. But for me, it doesn't make a difference how you get from 4 to root 2 to root 32 for this question, because we're just ordering them from least to greatest. Okay. So we're going to continue this. We're going to do this again. Now we'll do it with 2 square root 6, right? Okay. So we know this can be written as 2 can be written as the square root of 2 times 2, and then of course don't forget we got to multiply that by the square root of 6, right? And then this can be rewritten as the square root of 4. So this becomes the square root of 4, right? Again, like I said before, you might want to, once you're comfortable, you can skip this step here and just go right to the square root of 4 times the square root of 6. Then we can write this all underneath one square root. So this becomes the square root of 4 times 6 underneath 1, which is equal to the square root of 24. Okay? And then the last one is 3 root 3. And that, oh, sorry. And that could be written as, I'll steal this. So it'd be 3 times 3, and then that one was the original was 3, right? So this 3 becomes root 3 times 3, then we recopy that. Radical root 3, right? And that becomes 9. 3 times 3 is 9. Oh, and we can write it as an entire radical of 9 times 3 as like underneath one radical. And then as an entire, then as an entire radical, the square root of 9 times 3, which is 27. Alright, so now you have the square root of 25, square root of 32, square root of 24, and square root of 27. So you just order the numbers literally from 24, 25, 27, 32, right? But again, rewriting the original radicals, you don't write the simplified. That was just to tell you which one's which, right? Okay, and this is showing your work. So if you were asked to show a work without a calculator, this is the work you would want to see, everything that I'm putting right here. So it would be, the first one is the root of 24, which is equivalent to 2 root 6. So that's our first one, because we're asking the order from least to greatest. The next smallest is 5, so we just write 5. The next is 3 root 3. 3 root 3, and then the last one, and then the last one is the root 32, which is 4 root 2. Okay? And there's your final answer, order from least to greatest. Okay? There's a check your understanding example for you, least to greatest. I've noticed sometimes they'll put greatest to least, so please be careful with the wording. There's your answers. I know it's as easy just to write it down, but I would get the practice of changing them all into an entire radical. And again, this can only be done when they're all square roots, or obviously just a number, a whole number like 5, right? If we have a cube root here and a fourth root, then you have to go to decimals. Okay, and there's some homework questions that go with section 4.3, page 218, number 4, 5, 9 through 12, 15 through 18, 20 through 22. Okay. In the next video, we will start with 4.4, fractional exponents and radicals. Okay. We'll see how they're connected. Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks again.